one source for the sports gamer.
After reports surfaced on Wednesday night that EA Sports College Football was set to launch in July 2023, more new details have since come out about the game, courtesy of the same source of the release date. How's it going, sports gamers? Mike Straw, managing editor of Sports Gamers Online, and Matt Brown of ExtraPoints.com made public the information that he obtained via open records requests made to over 100 different universities. These requests involve communication between the universities, EA Sports, and the Collegiate Licensing Committee, or CLC. The documentation addresses details ranging from the game's release date to roster customization and more. In these documents received by Matt Brown, EA Sports discussed the various assets needed from participating programs for their inclusion in the game. These assets included things like logos, uniforms, school-owned band recordings, and more. The universities were also notified that EA Sports would need access to scan stadiums, trophies, costumed and uncostumed mascots, and various university-specific traditions. There will be more than 100 universities in this game, meaning that EA Sports' asset team has its work cut out for them. Of course, one of the biggest concerns for EA Sports College Football right now involves roster customization. Even without NIL agreements in place that allow student athletes to profit off their likeness, many fans were hopeful that the ability to customize rosters would still make its way into the game. Unfortunately for those fans, that doesn't appear to be the case. The proposal reads, quote, "With policies surrounding the use of student-athlete name, image, and likeness have yet to be finalized, the current proposal put forth by the NCAA does not permit current student-athlete NIL to be used." With this in mind, EA proposes to release a game with completely generic avatars that cannot be construed as a current player, facial features, hometown, ethnicity, body structure, and more, and is committed to putting controls in place to ensure that there will be no way for consumers to manipulate and edit the in-game avatars to create a likeness to current players. The company references the fact that similar controls are in place for the 10 collegiate programs currently in Madden NFL 21. Now, systems-wise, EA Sports is developing the game for the 5th generation of hardware. That signals that it'll be on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, while skipping the PS4 and Xbox One. Of course, this makes sense as the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S will be in their 3rd years by the time the game comes out. And for those wondering, there was no mention of a PC release for EA Sports College Football in the proposal. In regards to downloadable content, EA Sports dedicated a full paragraph to the matter. In part, the section talks about DLC being a significant factor in EA's games. DLC lets EA, quote, "extend and enhance the experience and offer ways to add further values to its players." It also mentions the additional revenue it creates for the company, while still being, quote, "always optional for players." But one thing to note through all of this is that nothing is set in stone with EA Sports College Football. Right now, the only thing set is that the game's coming. The release date of July 2023, the schools involved, and likenesses are all subject to change. Within the next year or so, it's possible to see the NCAA reach an agreement allowing student athletes to profit off their names. This would certainly lead to discussions for having players and roster customization in the game. An NIL agreement would also see schools like Notre Dame and Northwestern reevaluate their decisions to opt out of being in the game in the first place. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with everything before EA Sports College Football's hopeful July 2023 launch. But now, sports gamers, we want to pass the questions off to you. What do you think about this new information coming out regarding EA's proposal to universities? Does it make sense to you for no roster customization to be included? Or were you really hoping to see something along the lines of what Doug Flutie's Maximum Football does, allowing you to create custom rosters, but only having them on your local system? Leave a like on this video and let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to Sports Gamers Online and hit that bell to be notified whenever a new video goes live. And as always, visit our website at sportsgamersonline.com.